What's happening, everybody? Happy Monday. It's 6:10 a.m., July 20th. My name is Emil. I'm going to do a morning Bitcoin and crypto analysis. We're going to dive into a couple of top DeFi, top altcoins that I see that still may have some room to go to the upside. So let's see if we can, catch some good trades. All right. For now, though, let's look at Bitcoin first. See if Bitcoin will allow the overall trend of altcoins to continue, or is Bitcoin looking weak? Okay, so first things first, I do want to note that I think over the weekend we did push below the July monthly open right there, but then again, reclaimed it, pushed all the way to, let me see here, I think what was the high right here, 92.50, and we actually had a new weekly open yesterday evening, right? And so that evening open is, let me see, the open is 92.19, and this is on BitMEX. As I've stated before, if you've been watching my analysis for a while, you want to pay attention to the most recent weekly open candle and the current month that you're on, the monthly open, right? So here's the July monthly open, here's the weekly open. What we're effectively doing is, so far, I mean, we're tightly, wound between these two, right? This key high and this key low. Previously, when the weekly open was, somewhere back here or something, we were kind of moving back and forth between the two anyway, between the July monthly open and the previous weekly open. So these weekly open candles are particularly important. Why? Because in my experience, whether it be the equity markets or even more importantly Bitcoin, Bitcoin likes to respect the weekly open very well. Okay, and what I mean by that is once the candle starts closing below the weekly open, or say closing above the weekly open, more often than not, what happens through the rest of the week, or at least some part of the week, is we continue on that trend. So if you notice right here, we opened the weekly right here, we pushed up for just a little bit, maybe first 15, 20 minutes of the weekly open, and then started breaking down. And as you can see, we moved sideways again for several hours and then broke down further. Okay, why is this important? Well, this helps you identify right from the get-go the intention of bots and algos potentially of how they want to defend particular levels, such as the weekly open. And in cases like this, you sometimes get very, very good opportunities, even for scalps and even for swing positions. So in this particular case right here on the weekly open, all you could have done really is placed a stop above here for your short, and you could have placed your target down here, which is the key support area of the July monthly open, as your target profit. Boom, you wake up, you're in profit, your position's closed, that's it. Okay, in our community, I think you guys very well know, I've been short since way the heck, I think back here, or actually back here, 9600s or so has been my short. I think I've gotten a lot of criticism about having a short position. I think I kind of want to address that a little bit, because most people don't really understand that swing positions held for a longer period of time, especially with size, do a couple of things. Number one, they help you establish a pretty large structural play where you don't have to do a whole lot of active management in your position. Meaning, once you get into a good entry, you kind of just leave your stop, right? Let the market kind of do its thing, play itself out. And every couple of days, maybe even a week or two, you can, I don't know, maybe take some position off and take some profit off the table. You also get paid very handsomely in funding if you have a position size like I do. I've been holding for almost 50 days now. 50 days, right, with a sizable position over time, you get paid a lot, okay? So, the criticism is not really valid, because I understand that you may not agree of being short and you think that there's more money to be made elsewhere. But as I've said before, first of all, I've been doing this for 11 years. And, the one thing I've learned in 11 years is that you don't need to worry about every other position, in that specific market, or every other asset in that particular market or any other market that's going to give you more money. Okay, that's not the point, right? If you have certain goals, certain expectations, certain assets that you understand, trade them well, make your money, and don't forget about, or don't worry about anyone else. Okay, that's the whole point of trading, is for you to be able to trade the assets, trade the market the way you want to, the way you understand it, make your money, and not have to worry about anyone else. Okay. So let's move on. Yeah, so I think for the most part, over here, let me turn on the volume right here, right? You can see the volume spiked up a little bit in this particular candle. I don't see anything special over here unless the July monthly gets broken. Then we can start talking about 8,900, 8,800 and lower. If you're looking from the simple standpoint of pivots, right? Let's turn this off. If we're looking at pivots right now, you can see right here, we opened above the pivot, but then we started breaking down under. So if you're going from pivot to pivot, well, the S1 is right there around 9,037. So price, if it does not reclaim this pivot, we should technically be heading down here around the S1, or at the very least around this base of support right here around 9,085 or so. Okay, I just don't see us holding here. Maybe we try to get back and reclaim this level, but if we get rejected again, chances are, like I said, we're going to hit the S1. If we're looking at the broader perspective of daily pivots, okay, the daily pivots are pretty clear. As I stated before, if you look back historically on the last 15 pivots dating back all the way to 2019, okay, every time Bitcoin has broken below the pivot, again, that's when the pivot is in that particular month, okay? Remember, pivots restart right here every single month, okay? So within that particular month, once you start breaking below the pivot, right, and you get rejected by that pivot, okay, chances are you go lower until, you find the next monthly pivot right here, as you can see, and then you break through. But even then, again, you break down below the pivot, reject that pivot, and then break down further. So point is that historically, if you're looking from the simple standpoint of fractals within pivots, you can make the argument that every time Bitcoin has broken below the pivot in the last, 12 or 14 months or so, in the last 19 pivots or so, actually, last 15 pivots, sorry. So that's about 14 or 15 months so far. All right. Bitcoin has never, in the last 15 months, never been able to reclaim that pivot, unless it's maybe late, well, I guess next month, technically, right? And so that would imply, at least for now, potential more further downside, or at the very least, we're going to just float around here, maybe 9,000, 9,200 here and there, right? Just chop around, okay? So just, a couple things that you could pick up and do some, back testing and analysis on your own, right? Same thing with the middle Bollinger Band, guys. I've talked about the tightening of Bollinger Band, first of all. More often than not, this kind of tightening right here is pretty much a indication that's telling you that, okay, volatility is incoming. And the fact that we're below the middle Bollinger Band, the fact that we're below key support levels would imply and give more credence to more downside, right? Historically, again, break below the middle Bollinger Band right there, that red line, again, sell off, right? Or even right there, you reject that middle Bollinger Band, sell off. Even right here, middle Bollinger Band right there, sell off. Way back here in September 2019, break below that middle Bollinger Band, and then you sell off. So this has happened over and over again, okay? You can even see right here, right? This is 2018 when the price action was getting very tight. You could see price getting tighter and tighter. The downtrend was pretty clear, I think, or it was obvious, at least for people like myself, because this was a big descending triangle being created. We kept hammering on support. And I stated even way back here in September and October 2018, more than likely we're going to break down. And we did. Again, same thing right here. We break right below that middle Bollinger Band, can't reclaim it, and then sell off. Okay? So the point is that we've done this over and over again. Bitcoin has signs that it shows you that, hey, I'm repeating similar patterns. Just like I've said before, that to me, Bitcoin looks like it's doing this, which is a large descending triangle right here. Okay, just like it did back here, and just like it did back here. Okay, so for the most part, I am expecting more downside. All right, but now let's see how that helps us with altcoins. Well, here's the thing. There are certain aspects and certain segments of altcoins that have not really cared about Bitcoin, in its mini downtrend right there. In fact, it's actually been even more beneficial for altcoins, especially in this DeFi space that has really taken off. Okay, it's aggressively taken off. And some of the top DeFi coins like Terra, Kava, Synthetics Network, Thor, Lend right there, many others. I mean, they've just done fantastic jobs, or even, Ample right here. So in our community, our Advantage members have been doing a solid job of trading these markets, as you can see. So this is our Advantage community. We have a Bitcoin trading section. We've actually rearranged some of the channels, making it a little bit more organized and clear. So within the Bitcoin section, you have Bitcoin analysis, scalp positions, short positions, long positions, and then just the Bitcoin chat. Same thing with altcoins. You have the altcoin scalp positions, the short positions, the longs, and the chat. And in here, you can see our Advantage community has been extremely, extremely active, and they've been doing a phenomenal job. Okay, all the smart people, Oregon Elizabeth, our friend Marco, Crypto Life, Hashtag, all these guys, they've just been doing a phenomenal job. Okay, and to be honest, I'm now just playing catch up with what exactly is happening in the DeFi space. Okay, I don't mind playing catch up in scenarios like this, because for the most part, I want to see markets prove themselves and actually hit my radar in the right way, meaning that I shouldn't have to just find a altcoin or have it come on my radar just because someone is telling me that, hey, so-and-so altcoin is going up 50, 100%. Those shouldn't be the only reasons why you should be interested, in these altcoins. Of course, we're here to make money, but more often than not, when something like that happens, and it happens in waves and phases amongst multiple coins within a particular segment like DeFi, what it makes me think about is, are we in a bubble? Okay. However, bubbles aren't always bad. Okay. They end badly, but it depends what cycle of the bubble that you're catching the price in, right? So it's my assessment, and I'm actually going to do a detailed video on Wednesday, first of all, detailing how exactly is the altcoin market position in relation to Bitcoin, okay? And what coins specifically should we be focusing on within the DeFi space? What coins still have room to go, right? For example, let's do some basic analysis, okay? So I know BNB is not a DeFi coin. However, I think this is a very, very good structural coin right now. Why? Because within Bitcoin, or I'm sorry, within BNB, right, there's some really unique stuff happening within BNB. Number one, CZ had announced, okay, that they're doing IEOs again, right? So remember, these are the initial exchange offerings. I forgot exactly where he said that. Somewhere on his Twitter feed, he was talking about, they're going to start doing IEOs again. Let me see. Financials. Okay, well, I'll let you guys look it up. I can't find the tweet. Maybe it's on my Twitter feed, but y'all can check it out. But point is, you cannot participate in IEOs unless you have BNB. So what happens to BNB? Well, there's going to be a bid for it, a demand for it, right? So in that particular case, it gives you a fundamental reasoning why BNB should be moving up. Within this structure right here, this range, we actually pushed up and out of the range, but then we collapsed back down inside. Now what we need to see is come back above that range again. Once we hold above that range, our first target is up here, okay, 2140. That's about a 18% upside move. If we get above that, then we get above here, all the way to 2641. That's about a 44% upside move if you get in right here, okay? Why is this position important? Well, one, it has nothing to do with DeFi, right? Let's just say the DeFi space is maybe in a bubble and we might be catching it on the wrong side of the bubble, which again, particularly right now, I don't think that's the case. I think DeFi possibly is just getting started. But again, I will do a detailed video on that Wednesday. Make sure y'all catch that, okay? But as of right now, okay, there are certain altcoins that are hidden gems with great structures that have not run up like DeFi coins have, where you don't have to catch them 200% higher or 300% higher or 1,000% higher. Like for example, Lend clearly has gone up, you know, way more than 1,000% or something, okay? So from way the heck down here, right, it's up, let me see, how much it's almost up like 4,000%. I mean, it's a ridiculous amount, but nonetheless, right, what coin hasn't done that is BNB. The other coins, like let's just say SNX, okay, remember Synthetics Network, that's one of the DeFi coins. Okay, this one right here, it's up a decent amount, but it ain't up no 4,000%, right? So from down here, up here, okay, it's up a couple 100%, right? So it's not that bad. And some of these coins, what we need to see is we want to see nice retracements on a daily level. We want to see them maybe on a weekly level if possible. And then you can start putting in bids for things like SNX. Because it's possible that because these coins are so new, because the demand is just coming into DeFi, you do not want to jump into the coins that have already run up 4,000% like Lend has. You want to find hidden gems like BNB, which is just, again, regular altcoins, or DeFi coins like SNX. Now, SNX particularly, I think, you know, if you're making the argument here, what you could do is you could just do a basic, you know, fib extension right here. Right? So you've already hit the 1.618, 2.0, and 2.618 is just upcoming. Okay? So you can make the argument that, okay, well, it's possible that, you know, you have a little bit more of a move up here. And then after that, you might retrace, I don't know, maybe back towards this 1.0 level, right? This 22,000 Satoshi level. Okay? These would be the retracements that you would particularly want to buy. All right? Again, not investment advice, but that's how I am going to be looking at it. You know, if we're also just doing a fib extension, we could do something like this. I mean, let's just say this is the low because it does look like the low. That's the high, and then that's the low, right? So almost the same thing. I mean, you know, now we're coming into the 1.618, 2.0 extension is right there. And then 2.618 is somewhere probably 64,000 or something. Okay, so in either case, right? Yes, SNX could have more upside in it, but the retracements is what you want to pay attention to. You want to set alerts on your charts, right? If you guys don't know how to set alerts, you could just on TradingView, you see this marker on the right, click that, add alert, and it's all set. Okay, so it'll alert you, you know, next time SNX comes down here. Or you can alert it, have it alert you, you know, when it's up here. Either case, doesn't matter, but you want to set alerts on some of these coins. So on my other charts, on my other laptop, I actually have some alerts set for some of these coins, okay? In the Advantage community, I've let people know which coins I'm paying attention to, particularly for DeFi. On Wednesday, like I said, I'll be making my video about altcoins. Number one, if we're in a bubble, if so, do we want to hop into the bubble because it's a good opportunity, or do we want to stay away? Number two, I will also be displaying and talk about one altcoin, which I think that has very high upside potential just based on my own research and something I've been following since like 2017, 2018 days. And it has similar characteristics to what we saw in Lend. Okay, remember Lend, had this base being built for several months and then start to break out, with high volume right here and then took off. Okay, so I'm seeing something with similar characteristics in another altcoin. So I will be displaying that on Wednesday. So make sure y'all look out for that video. Let's check out some other coins, right? So some of these coins have done really well. SNX, we talked about. Kava, that's another really great one. Okay, so let's check out Kava. Let's see here, right? So here's the thing. Kava has that similar structure where, again, you pushed up a little bit, rolled over, retraced almost to the point where you retraced this entire move to the upside, and then boom, you put in a new high. Okay, so in these cases, what you want to do, all right, once you get that retracement possibly to this area right here, okay, if at all, right, or even up here, what you could do is you could say, okay, let's just say I don't believe that we're going to get retracement all the way down to that green box. You could look at it like this. What is a decent retracement? Well, good bullish retracements are 382, sometimes maybe the 50% level. So in these two areas, you can set some alerts and you can say, okay, if price for Kava comes down here, all right, I'm going to buy. Remember, you got to be willing and prepared to take calculated risks, right? If you buy here, your stops should be somewhere down here. Kava shouldn't be coming way the heck down here unless it's going to break down further. But if it does something like this, right, and it starts pushing up higher and higher, chances are it's going to put in a new all-time high and possibly even run up further and further. So if you want the ability to make, 50%, 100%, 500%, you got to be willing to take calculated risks like this. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be doing for Kava or SNX or some of these other altcoins I'm watching. I'm waiting for this, mass euphoria to kind of fade away, give away just a little bit, give me a decent pullback, and then I'll buy it. Okay. Again, this is not investment advice, but if you guys do want to come join, trade altcoins with us, understand how we do altcoin analysis, Bitcoin analysis, like the video that you're seeing every single day, because we do analysis every single day, twice a day actually, for our Advantage members. And then we have updates scattered throughout the day. Like we have these updates right here, as you can see, where I explain to people exactly what I'm seeing, written updates through the day. If there's any questions about the market, I'll pop into the chat. I'll start talking about what I'm seeing in Bitcoin, what we can expect for hourly time frame, levels to look out for, potential indicators I'm watching, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so if you want this kind of interactive community, guys, make sure y'all come join. There's a free Discord link below. Our membership is $97 per month, which I think is more than reasonable for offering Bitcoin trading, heavy altcoin trading, a big equity section. Remember, we trade US stock market, where Faisal provides daily updates on exactly what's happening in the market. As you can see right here, he provides stock alerts of stocks that he's trading every single day. Again, this is all stuff that we give out to you guys to show you as Advantage members, again, right? The paid members, that here's what we're doing in the market. And if you want to follow, you can follow. If you have any questions, we can answer questions. We don't provide financial advice, but what we could do is show you exactly what we're doing. We'll tell you, how we're trading it, why we're trading it, where we're getting in, where we're getting out. Very detailed explanations on everything. All right, so if you're looking for a community like that, hit the thumbs up, leave us a comment. And first of all, let us know your thoughts about Bitcoin or altcoins or any coin that you think we should look out for. All right, that's it, guys. Y'all take care. Have a wonderful Monday, and cheers. I hope to see y'all in our Discord community.